Want the most immersive sim experience without spending a fortune? In 2025, your best options are the Pimax Crystal Light and the Meta Quest 3. One's a lightweight PCVR beast with crystal clear visuals. The other, a wireless powerhouse with a massive ecosystem. But which one is actually better for you? Let's break it all down, from resolution, FOV and performance to comfort and price, and find out which headset gives you the best simulation experience on a budget. Well, let's start with the basics. Device type. The Meta Quest 3 is a standalone headset. That means it runs everything on its own. No PC, no cables, just power it on and go. Great for casual gaming, fitness, mixed reality, which is really interesting, and yes, it can stream PCVR wirelessly using Airlink or virtual desktop. For sim racing or flight sims, that standalone design comes with compromises. The biggest, battery life. The Quest 3 only lasts about 2 hours on a full charge, and long sim sessions can drain it fast. You can plug it in while playing, but that adds cable clutter and heat build-up. Add to that the slight latency from wireless PCVR, and the Quest 3, while super convenient, isn't always ideal for serious sim use. Now, the Pimax Crystal Light is pure PCVR. No battery, no standalone mode. It's designed to be tethered to your gaming rig. That means zero battery issues, consistent power and lower latency, giving you a more stable experience for long sim sessions. Now let's talk optics. The Meta Quest 3 uses plastic pancake lenses. These are compact, lightweight, and help keep the headset small. Great for general use, but for sims, they're a bit of a compromise. You'll notice more blur at the edges, less edge-to-edge clarity, and some loss of sharpness. Especially if you're scanning cockpit gauges, reading instruments, or trying to pick out fine detail in a racing HUD. The Pimax Crystal Light, on the other hand, use glass aspheric lenses, the same type found in the original Crystal. These lenses are heavier, expensive, but the payoff is big. Superior clarity across the entire field of view, less distortion, and sharper visual even at the periphery. Perfect for sim racing, flight sims, or any cockpit-based game where you're constantly scanning your surroundings. On the Quest 3 you get about 25 pixels per degree, which is decent, and on the Pimax Crystal Light you get around 35 pixels per degree. And you get a noticeable upgrade in sharpness compared to the Quest 3. Next up, field of view, or FOV. The Meta Quest 3 has a horizontal FOV of around 110 degrees. That's fairly standard for modern VR and good enough for most use cases. The Pimax Crystal Light, on the other hand, offers a 115 degrees horizontal. That might not sound like a huge difference on paper, but in practice it's massive. You see more of the cockpit, more of the track or sky around you, and it just feels more natural, like sitting in a real racing seat or flight deck. Alright, now let's talk about resolution. The Meta Quest 3 features a resolution of 2064 by 2208 pixels per eye. That's definitely sharp for a standalone headset, and it looks great in most content. The Pimax Crystal Light pushes resolution even further, 2880 by 2880 pixels per eye. That's one of the highest resolution available right now under $1,000, and the difference is instantly noticeable. Text is crispier, fine details pop, and everything just looks more lifelike. Now, before we move on, let's take a quick look at the displays, because resolution is only part of the story. The MetaQuest 3 uses LCD panels, which get the job done, but lack deep contrast and true blacks. Bright scenes look good, but darker environments like nighttime flights or shadowed cockpits can feel a bit washed out. The Pimax Crystal Light steps it up with QLED panels, featuring mini LED backlighting and local dimming. That means deeper blacks, punchier colors, and a much higher contrast ratio. Alright, comfort. Comfort is one of those things that's easy to overlook until you've been wearing a headset for 2 hours straight in a race or on a long-haul flight. The MetaQuest 3 is definitely lightweight, and on paper that sounds great. But in practice, I found it not very comfortable for long sessions. The shape doesn't sit well on every head. It can feel front-heavy, and the default strap just doesn't distribute weight evenly. If you're serious about using it for sims, a comfort kit or elite strap is basically a required add-on. So while the headset is affordable, that's one extra cost you want to factor in right away. The Pimax Crystal Light, on the other hand, surprised me. Despite being heavier overall, the ergonomics are just better. The weight is balanced, the padding is better, and the default strap system feels more stable. Even without any optional comfort kit, I found it comfortable enough for long sim session right out of the box. The Quest 3 weight is 515 grams. The Crystal Light is 815 grams, so 300 grams more. Now let's talk about tracking. Both the MetaQuest 3 and the Pimax Crystal Light use 6 degrees of freedom inside-out tracking, powered by 4 built-in cameras. That means no need for external sensors, and you can move freely in space. But when it comes to tracking quality, the Quest 3 is better out of the box, especially when it comes to controller tracking. It's fast, stable, and incredibly precise. And it also includes hand tracking out of the box, which is great for menus, casual apps, or cockpit interaction in supported sims. No extra hardware needed. The Pimax Crystal Light also delivers solid head tracking right out of the box. No complaints there. But I did find the controller tracking to be slightly less accurate than the Quest 3. There's no hand tracking built in, but you can add it with an optional ultra-lip module. And you can also improve the overall quality of the tracking using the optional Lighthouse faceplate, which allows tracking through base station sensors. Well, now let's take a look at performance before we get into the price. Both the MetaQuest 3 and the Pimax Crystal Light support fixed foveated rendering, or FFR, when connected to a PC. This technique improves performance by rendering the center of your vision in high detail while lowering the resolution in your peripheral view, a smart way to save GPU resources. In my testing, FFR felt more stable and consistent on the Pimax Crystal Light. When it comes to refresh rates, both headsets offer 72 Hz, 90 Hz and 120 Hz options. That means you've got flexibility depending on your PC's performance and what kind of game you're running. And let's not forget, the Quest 3 performs extremely well in standalone mode. It's optimized, stable and runs native content smoothly without needing a PC at all. That's a major win for flexibility, even though it doesn't apply much to sim users who stick with PCVR. So, now that we've covered visual, comfort, tracking and performance, let's talk about the price. The MetaQuest 3 starts at around $500, which sounds great at first, but if you want to use it seriously for simulation, there are a few upgrades I strongly recommend. Elite strap with battery, which gives better comfort and 2 hours battery life more. Quest-Link cable for PCVR, and comfort facial interface, optional but highly recommended. That brings the total cost to around $740 to $760. The Pimax Crystal Light comes in at around $900, and while that's a higher upfront cost, it's a pure PCVR headset. No mobile processor, no compression, and no battery limitations. That makes a big difference for simulation sessions, which often go on for hours. You won't need to worry about recharging or power banks. It just runs as long as your PC does. So, if you're looking for a headset that also does standalone gaming, the Quest 3 is still a great multi-purpose device. But be prepared for those added costs and power limitations if you're using it mainly for PCVR sims. But if your focus is dedicated PCVR for sim racing, flight sims or space sims, the Crystal Light offers better clarity, better comfort out of the box, and unlimited playtime, all with fewer compromises. So, in the end, both are solid options for their price. But for simmers who want the best possible experience without breaking the bank, my choice is the Pimax Crystal Light. Well, I'm affiliated with both Pimax and Meta, so if you're interested in picking up either headset, feel free to use the links in the video description. You get some benefits or discounts, and it also helps support the channel at no extra cost to you. I really hope you found this video useful. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and let me know in the comments which headset you ended up choosing. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Ciao!